Is back on. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Israel's gone on the attack again as the ceasefire ends following Hamas's release of some hostages, but not all.
We didn't choose to have this war, but since it was forced upon us, we're fighting it.
Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein.
This marks the end of a weeks-long standoff, an effort to negotiate a second stage of the ceasefire. What we are seeing today is Israel carrying out these strikes, lighting up the sky, with the IDF saying it's going after Hamas targets like officials and infrastructure.
Fox's Alex Hogan. Health officials in Gaza claim the Israeli strikes have killed 326 Palestinians. President Trump will focus on ending another war today in a phone call with Russia's leader.
We're getting down to a very critical stage, and we want to get the whole Russia-Ukraine thing done.
He's trying to get Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire like Ukraine already has. A federal judge has given the Trump administration until noon today to answer questions about controversial weekend deportations of hundreds of illegal immigrants, many of them alleged gang members.
Including how many people were deported under the Alien Enemies Act and what time did these planes take off from the U.S. The judge is frustrated that the Trump administration did not follow his order to turn the planes back around. As Democrats warn of a constitutional crisis, the White House argues the flights were already in international airspace, so they maintain the judge's ruling no longer applied.
Two astronauts stranded at the International Space Station for months are finally headed home.
Undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time.
That was NASA TV. Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams will return to Earth late in the afternoon on a SpaceX capsule. They got stuck at the station when a Boeing spaceship that took them there in June had technical issues, couldn't bring them back to Earth. They're about to play ball in Tokyo, where in a few minutes, the Los Angeles Dodgers, led by Japanese star Shohei Ohtani, will play the Chicago Cubs in the Major League Baseball season opener. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When you can expect severe weather, it's 42 degrees on Monument Circle with a clear radar. Your high today, 73. I'm Ryan Hedrick for CBeyondTheAddiction.org. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Severe weather is back in the forecast tomorrow as the storm moves in east from Illinois.
I'd say the earliest time is between 5 or 6 p.m. And then they'll spread eastward across the state with time, and they might not be out of the area until almost 10 or 11 p.m.
The National Weather Service has issued a slight risk for tornadoes to Indiana, about 2%. Wednesday afternoon into evening. If you live in Indiana and you're fed up with your property tax bill, you're probably not alone, and you probably might want to know what they're doing about it. Here's John Herrick.
Indiana's Governor Mike Braun said at a property tax relief rally on Monday, put on by WIBC's Kendall and Casey, that he's not asking for a whole lot.
I'm asking this state government to get back on track and run itself efficiently.
He says his plan in its original form gives schools and governments what they need while also not pinching Hoosier homeowners financially. The bill's being discussed in the House Ways and Means Committee. They have until April 10th to send the bill to the full House. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A brain injury. That's what a man doing time at Heritage Trails Correctional Facility suffered after he was attacked last year. Now the two people that attacked him have been charged. Julia Stokes and Demarion Harrison are facing several felonies and could get 16 years on top of the time they're already doing in this prison. Madness in the Circle City, that being March Madness, when the NCAA men's basketball tournament comes back to Indy. Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business tells WIBC's Tony Katz basketball brings in big bucks.
The estimated economic impact is about $14 million from that event, so nothing to sneeze at, to be sure. And, you know, the NIT is back, too. The semifinals and championship game of the NIT will be at Butler.
And he says if Purdue could make it back to Indy after winning a couple of games in the first couple of rounds, the economic payout could be even greater. The Indiana Pacers, very short-handed last night, beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in overtime, 132-130. I'll have highlights and sports coming up in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. You have traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Now through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save $1,000 in your first year over Verizon and AT&T. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual speeds vary. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
On the west side, 465 heading southbound at 34th Street. There's a crash. The two right lanes are blocked, causing delays back to 38th Street. This report is sponsored by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA Guide at betternestegg.com. Don't leave your future to chance. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's going on?
Good morning. We're going to warm things up. You already feel it here a little bit. This morning we'll go mostly sunny, maybe eventually partly cloudy, and about 20 degrees warmer than yesterday afternoon, a high of around 73. The only problem, it does get a little breezy. Gusts could get up to around 30 miles per hour at times this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy, breezy but mild, a low down to 55. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, windy, a high of 65. Some scattered storms arriving by late afternoon and early evening. Could have some gusty storms in there. Should be out of here by mid-evening. Thursday, significantly colder. Rain maybe mixing with snow in the morning, a high of 45. We'll bounce back Friday, partly cloudy with highs near 60.
That's Marcus Bailey. You heard it here first, people. Me, Marcus Bailey. Wish TV meteorologist. Marcus, thank you. Appreciate it. Right now, we've got 41 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:07. Nothing like starting the day with some straight-up conspiracy insanity. President Trump, you've seen pictures. He's the president of the United States. Tall guy, about yay big, has hair. He has announced that the administration will be releasing all of the JFK files today. All of them. All of them.
We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this, and I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard, and that's going to be released tomorrow.
Okay. There it is. I'm still waiting for all the Epstein files. I don't really care about the JFK files at all. It'll be interesting if the government did lie to the American people about the assassination, about Lee Harvey Oswald, about all the rest. I'll agree. I want to know who the pedophiles are in our government who are on an island with Jeffrey Epstein abusing young children, young women, and I want to know when they go to jail. I want to know what I want to know. Trump made that statement while he was at the Kennedy Center lamenting the disrepair. There's been a lot of upheaval about the Kennedy Center where Trump decided to announce himself as board chairman, a move a president doesn't usually make, and put a lot of people, his people, of course, on the board, including Usha Vance, the second lady, and a host of other people. I'm not opposed to people being on this board who aren't of the arts. But it was interesting to hear Trump discuss the fact that the actual physical Kennedy Center is in poor shape. They just went through a massive remodel. And now I want to see proof of the poor shape. I have not been to the Kennedy Center. It just isn't. When I lived in D.C., it never came to be, right? And I just have not thought about going back. I would, of course, see a show there. And shows have pulled out, oh, Trump is destroying the arts. Doesn't sound like he's destroying anything. That your friend is not on the Kennedy Center board doesn't mean he's destroying the arts. And when Hamilton pulls out, I think that's kind of cheap of Hamilton. They're coming here to Indy, the whole Broadway series. I think it's going to be great. By the way, the Broadway series in Indy for this season looks pretty good. Les Miserables, they're bringing Clue. It's pretty good. I am on the wait list. I don't know. I saw it late, I guess. But to pull out of the Kennedy Center because of Trump is cheap. And it really does go against the idea of the show must go on. It's super cheap. Stage actors need to get a little tougher. He was elected president. And if he's going to have a conversation about now how you really redo the Kennedy Center, I want to know what's really wrong. Maybe that's something you could actually say, hey, I want to be a part of that. There's a moment, and sometimes people miss their moment. The JFK files? Maybe it's about time. Sure. People are going to be excited. Maybe there's something in there I'm going to be stunned by. I don't need the JFK files. I need the Epstein files. All of them. Everything. Every last bit. We need to know who was doing this to kids. And we need to throw them in jail, regardless of their party or their last name. We can get that done. That would be swell. That's right. I'm bringing back swell. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. The rain, well, it comes and it goes, and we'll see more this week, and we've already seen some this week, and that rain can bring roof damage. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, which means costly water issues inside your home. The water can seep into your attic, into your walls, into the insulation, mold, rot, expensive structural damage. The whole thing just stinks to high heaven. Moss Roofing offers free inspections right now. So a small leak or a bigger roofing concern, their expert teams will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. Moss Roofing, great people, family-owned business, second generation, over 35 years of experience. They're the ones who know how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. So do not wait for a minor drip to turn into major repairs. Talk to Moss Roofing. Let them keep you dry this spring and every season. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
This is Gary Dick, an economic development announcement at 6:32. Join guest speaker, Secretary of Commerce David Adams, and our expert panel for IBJ's Life Sciences Power Breakfast, April 24th. More at ibj.com/events.
When it comes to managed network services and IT support, Applied Innovation is at the top of the list for these Applied Innovation customers. Sean Carnahan, Sales Manager for Adventure Homes.
They do all of our computers, so they take care of all of our issues, anything that comes up with our servers, any tech support, software we need, any equipment we need.
Eric Lane, Director of Information Technology for Raleigh Williams Paint Spot.
Applied Innovation has been very proactive, and they've laid out a plan for here is what we look like today, and here's what we want to look like in 18 months and then going forward. So it's the long-term vision that they have that other companies didn't.
Ashley Crane, IT Director for Belmont Beverage.
They're just a really great company that has a lot to offer to a small IT team like ourselves.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse opens March 19th. That's right, PA Jewelers, formerly inside Premier Arms, now has its own location at the Farmhouse. Built in 1888, an incredible setting that's going to have all of your jewelry needs. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, rare pieces, estate pieces, wedding rings, engagement rings, everything you want in one place. Open March 19th. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Go to pajewelers.jewelry to get more information. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did.
Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Traffic and Paul Bodenloss in for Matt Bear. What's going on?
They're bringing West side 465 heading southbound, still heavy between 38th and 34th from an earlier crash. There's cars on the left and right shoulders in that area. This report sponsored by the Tile Shop. Pros get more at the Tile Shop, more selection like new wood and vinyl flooring options for every budget, more perks and more service like free curbside pickups. Start getting more at the Tile Shop. Visit your local showroom today. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
That was me, Paul. I'm the guy who had some audio playing while you were talking, so I feel just terrible about that.
Bro.
Yeah, it's over now. I feel fine now. It was fleeting, I admit. It was a moment of just, wow, I just feel really bad, and now I'm good. Although my voice is super low today. Like, I don't think that's your radio. That's me. Do I sound super low, Paul Bodenloss?
You're all right.
No. Well, I don't sound like you.
Well, who does, you know?
Right. I'm Paul Bodenloss. This is my normal voice, ladies.
Only one cup of coffee, you know?
That's all I need. One cup of coffee, Paul. That's what they call me. And then you got me breathy at the end. Like that. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I can work on that. I gotta fix that. Paul Bodenloss, thank you. Appreciate you. 41 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:16.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I had changed the locks, didn't even know where she was living. And then one night she calls to say she's getting treatment. Can I drive? I almost hung up. But then I thought, that's my kid. I chose to put away the hurt and the fear and just see my girl.
Addiction is a disease. Standing by a loved one as they fight it will test your faith, patience, and sanity. But it's possible when you see the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Jitterbug. 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 Jitterbug.
Lawyers for the government couldn't say really who these people were.
And interesting enough, what they tried to use is they said, oh, we're looking at some of their tattoos, which means they have a gang affiliation, so they can be deported. It's a slippery slope that we don't want to open up.
But they're illegal
immigrants,
immigrants,
we have a process for everything.
But they're illegal immigrants, yes?
So actually, again,
we don't know.
The
state of affairs. They're saying they're bad people, so they can get out of here.
It would be fine if we knew that, but we don't.
The quotas is all fun until the rabbit has the gun, right? What if somebody turns that on one of us or anybody
we're citizens.
Else?
They're not citizens.
But there's people who are here.
The state of affairs in America is one that citizens are being stopped and questioned. I met with a U.S. citizen who was stopped at a subway station, questioned by ICE, detained for 3 hours. This is the state of affairs in America.
The state of affairs in America, Representative, I believe I pronounce his last name Espaillat. Or it could be Espaillat. Espaiillat, representative out of New York. The situation in America is that Joe Biden allowed unfettered illegal immigration to take place. Now we have to deal with it, and you're complaining that's being dealt with. Not even how. You're complaining that's being dealt with at all. and for the idea that if you have these deportations of Venezuelan gang members and they're going to El Salvador to Bukele's prison, your argument is somebody who's a citizen can be caught up in that. Okay, I'll take that argument. And I will follow it up when you tell me that these people aren't getting due process, that people who did nothing wrong could have something bad happen to them. There were people who were invited into the Capitol by the Capitol Police on January 6th, and you still want them in jail. When you're invited in, you didn't do anything wrong. And I think some people did some wrong things on January 6th. I've never opposed the prosecution of some people associated with January 6th. But people who got invited in, they clearly didn't do anything wrong. You think anybody on that CNN panel is going to be making this argument? Well, you could be affecting somebody's civil rights. The argument here is the argument of whether or not we believe in a border and whether or not we believe that people who broke the law and came to the country illegally should not be rewarded. They shouldn't be rewarded. And those associated with violent activities in their home country should be sent back to their home country to deal with the legal system in their home country. And they are not afforded the Constitution. The Constitution is for Americans and is not a suicide pact. And for people who want to be Americans, welcome. We've got a system, we've got rules, and where you are is better than where you came from. As long as you're cool with that, great to see you. Get to work, go live a good life, have fun. But if you think where you came from is better, if you think that where you've come to, the United States, has to kowtow to you, has to change for you, bend for you, flex for you, move for you, give in for you, well, honestly, maybe this place isn't for you. Because we don't do that here. What an argument being made that somehow the illegal immigrants and the removal of illegal immigrants is so wrong because Americans, citizens, could get wrapped up in that. I guess it's possible. But there was no consideration for those innocent people on January 6th. And I argue again that not everybody associated with January 6th is innocent. But people who were invited in by the Capitol Police are innocent, always were innocent, should always have been treated like they were innocent. That wasn't the want of the Democratic Party. But I move on. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Oh, I got a little into that. Iran is threatening the United States again. These people are so boring. Oh, they are such basic terrorists. Good Lord. They will provide a crushing, decisive, and destructive response to any nation that targets it. And this, as the United States is building the airstrikes against the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Iran will never be the one to start a war, but should we face a threat, our response will be firm, decisive, and conclusive. Okay. Sure. You're never one to start a war. Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. But you're like, what are you looking at me for? What did I do? What? Why are you looking at me? Why are you saying that? What? What'd I do? God. Put an end to these people, these Shias, these mullahs, these hardliners, these clerics. The Shia Muslim, you know what I meant. It's so, it is remarkable to witness again and again. Again and again. They just, the lie is ever going and ever growing. It is. By the way, Shia Muslims in Iran. Sunni, let's say Saudi Arabia. So that's why I went Shia, but I should have just said mullahs, hardliners, and clerics. My apologies. Then the auto pen plot is thickening. Even the New York Post was right. Oh, Trump, they put an editorial. Trump should not be talking about the auto pen and undoing the pardons of Joe Biden, I don't know if President Trump can undo them. The argument here is that the pardons were never actually signed by Joe Biden. They were signed by AutoPen, this device, right? Basically a printer. And in that taking place, does that change whether something is legal, whether something is the pardon or the legislation, is it actually signed into law? Is the pardon signed by the president, head of the executive branch, and therefore with the full authority? Because if it's signed by an auto pen, couldn't anybody just run something through it and be like, okay, that's good? Trump wants to say that the pardons against January 6th committee members and others are void, vacant, and of no further force or effect. I don't know if he can, but I do think the court has to decide. I don't think this auto pen conversation, New York Post, is one that should be pushed to the side. As a matter of fact, I think it is one that really should be answered for America. What constitutes the signing? Shouldn't it be the signature of the president? The actual signature? Now, we haven't gotten into what happens with new generations who never learned cursive. How do they actually sign anything? But that's another story for another day. What constitutes a signature, I think, is a very legitimate question and one that the Supreme Court needs to answer. Speaking of answering, they gathered yesterday at the State House. Kendall and Casey did it. And I got to tell you, any news outlet out there not stating that Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels held a property tax rally that 500 people showed up to inside the State House. If you're just saying there was a rally and you're like some radio people, that it's unprofessional. That is insane. What's wrong with you? They did it. They made that happen. You're not going to give Kendall and Casey the respect? They made it happen? That's nuts. We'll talk more about the property tax rally. It took place yesterday. Coming up right now, Paul Bodenloss in for Matt Bear has traffic.
On the west side, 465 southbound, still a little sluggish between 38th and 34th from an earlier crash. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Stop putting screens on your gutters. If the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top and you're cleaning the screens. And those screens will need to be replaced. They just don't last. Pat Sullivan here. I have Gutter Helmet on my home and business, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. And this is a great time of year to call Gutter Helmet of Central Indiana, because right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 15% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET to schedule a free estimate. 15% off, cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET or go to gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text money to 46220 today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's that time of year. It's 42 degrees in downtown Indianapolis with the clear radar. Your high today, 73. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. Some rough weather is headed your way, and it'll be here by tomorrow afternoon, says Matt Eckhoff at the National Weather Service.
We'll see wind gusts maybe up to 45 miles an hour tomorrow in places, and then with the cold front coming through after the storms pass by, it can actually mix with and change to snow by Thursday morning.
Eckhoff says wind and hail are the biggest threats. He says we have less than a 2% chance for tornadoes in Indiana. Cleanup is underway in Gibson County this morning after an EF2 tornado hit over the weekend. 8 people don't have homes anymore, but no injuries were reported. The sheriff there says a command center has been set up in Oakland City where he's working with local leaders to coordinate efforts, and a volunteer group of about 75 Hoosiers is helping in the cleanup. President Donald Trump is due to speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin today about a potential ceasefire in Ukraine.
President Donald Trump revealed on Sunday that his talks with Vladimir Putin would include discussions on land, power plants, and, he said, dividing up certain assets. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has already said Russia must give back territory it seized. Russia wants guarantees that Ukraine will never join NATO.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage reporting. If you think your property taxes are too high, join the club.
We need to fix the system, and you have my word, I will continue to do that. We've got a lot of good people working on this in Ways and Means.
That's Senator J.D. Prescott at a property tax rally at the State House on Monday. He says Hoosier homeowners need more property tax relief and are not getting enough of it right now. Lawmakers are trying to figure out some kind of option to cut property taxes this legislative session. And Conor McGregor paid a St. Paddy's Day visit to Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. yesterday. The UFC star was at the White House where he used the opportunity to criticize the Irish government. He blamed illegal immigration for Ireland, in his words, potentially losing its Irishness. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 2.5 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Look for Indiana Governor Mike Braun to join executives of Kratos Defense and Security Solutions and local and regional officials in southern Indiana today for an economic development announcement. It is expected to involve an investment at the Crane Naval Surface Warfare Center. On the court, Big Ten conference schools are rivals, but for the last 12 years, researchers from each university have teamed up to fight one opponent, cancer. The idea for the Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium emerged from the IU Melvin and Bryn Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center in Indianapolis and its former director, Dr. Pat Lair. Hoosier Cancer Research Network CEO Brian Stemme says the impact is growing.
The Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium is where the Big Ten's fierce rivals join forces.
The consortium is 16 universities and cancer centers that are working together to help advance clinical research. And the way to describe it is they're really doing clinical trials together.
The longtime leader of the River Ridge Development Authority in Southeast Indiana will step down this summer. Jerry Gacy, who has served as the organization's executive director since 2008, will retire at the end of June. Under AC's leadership, River Ridge, which encompasses 6,000 acres in Jeffersonville and Charlestown, has grown into a commercial and industrial destination. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with creativity and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. Because bold is who we are. 9 campuses, one purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow. Join us at iu.edu.
The Indiana State Board of Animal Health has announced 2 more cases of highly pathogenic avian influenza at commercial poultry operations in Jay and Adams counties. The Jay County case involves a commercial egg operation specializing in pullets, or hens younger than a year old, with a flock of 1.34 million birds. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
On the west side, 465 southbound at 34th Street, there was an earlier crash. They still have a semi on the left shoulder, but traffic is recovering in that area. This report is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:35. We take a look at sports, and Ryan Hedrick, what's going on?
All right, Tony, good morning. The Pacers were short 4 starters, including Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they fought back, pushing the game to overtime. And with just 3 seconds left, Obi Toppin caught a pass in the corner.
Into the corner, an impossible 3 is drained by Toppin off the catch. He was floating out of bounds in the left corner, and that was a shot that most players wouldn't even try. He tried it because he had to.
And that's Mark Boyle discussing the action on the Elevance Health Radio Network, kind of like the pass that Tyrese Halliburton caught the other night against the Bucks. Pacers win 132-130. The NCAA men's tournament starts tonight with the first 4 in. Purdue plays Thursday afternoon against High Point in Providence, Rhode Island. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Did you know Indiana has a critical shortage of high school referees?
It's causing our games to be canceled or understaffed, and we need your help. I'm Greer Swaim from Fishers High School.
And I'm Cooper Allen from Shenandoah High School. We need you so we can keep playing our favorite sports.
So our opportunities to learn aren't limited.
So our experience in high school sports is everything it should be.
With your help, we can make sure we have enough officials for every game.
And student athletes around the state always have the chance to grow through high school sports.
Are you game? Sign up as a high school official in your community today.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. High school sports can't happen without high school officials. Help us fill an urgent need in our state so games aren't canceled or understaffed. Visit ihsaa.org to become an official today. This is protecting high school sports. This is serving your community. This is your IHSAA.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Ain't no better day for love. On the rocks you're sipping juice. My fingers tracing the outlines of your heart tattoo.
So there's a meme going around, and we have discussed it more than once. And it's this idea, I should say meme, it's more narrative. This coping mechanism going around that somehow Trump voters have buyer's remorse.
I say buyer's remorse, but I want to be clear that I don't mean they're saying, boy, I regret voting for Trump and wish I'd voted for the Democrats. It's more that they're saying, well, this is not what I thought he meant he was going to do. For example, you hear a lot of people on immigration saying, I thought he was just going to deport criminals. I didn't think he was going to deport the grandfather next door. And so there's a lot of voters, and also for a lot of these voters who voted for Trump strictly on the economy, because they wanted prices lowered. They're saying, man, he's doing a lot of stuff on DEI, or he's firing, people in charge of the nuclear program, but he's not focused on costs.
With all due respect to Sarah Longwell of the Bulwark, I don't know who these people are. A lot of people are saying, who are these lot of people? What argument are you making here other than a straw man? Not only do you have no basis for the statements, I'm just saying you're flat out lying about it. In any instance, anywhere, someone could say, man, I wish he was focusing more on the pet thing that I am most focused on. But no one is saying he shouldn't do anything about DEI. That's not what Trump supporters are saying. Certainly not what people who voted for him are saying. They knew this was coming. Every step of the way, they knew this was coming. But it helped CNN fill some time to put on Sarah Longwell to make this nonsense argument. I made the argument that when people voted for Joe Biden, they voted because they thought Trump was it was just all too crazy, it was all too much, and they want things to calm down. They didn't vote for all the other insanity that Joe Biden and his administration and his terrible, awful, very bad team brought and wrought. They did not. They didn't vote for Biden to give payoffs to students for votes and then say to the Supreme Court, I'm not listening to you. They didn't vote for that. They didn't vote for an overrun border and people being killed by fentanyl, never mind being raped and killed by illegal immigrants. They did not vote for war in Ukraine, and they did not vote for Israel being attacked. They didn't vote for any of that stuff. And they certainly didn't vote for the idea that college campuses could be overrun by these Jew-hating, America-hating bigots, and that the Biden administration would be silent about it. They didn't vote for that either. That much is true. Voting to dismantle DEI, absolutely what they voted for. Voting to tell people who are in the country illegally you have to go, absolutely what they voted for. It is what they voted for. You might think that maybe grandpa next door who is here illegally shouldn't be deported and gang members should, but you're also the party that is opposed to gang members being deported. So, oh, wait, Sarah Longwell's a Republican? Whatever you say, Sarah. But all of this is part of Trump's first 100 days, which is moving apace faster than we realize. There are things we've already forgotten, but I have it all. April 17th in Kokomo, Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons. Going to be a great night. Thanks to Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, laserpmc.com, and Flederman Von Riest. If you're watching the live stream, that's what I'm wearing today, right there from Flederman Von Riest. It's going to be an incredible night. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Kokomo is super easy to get to. Right up 31. Whoop, super close. Much closer than you think. Yes, it's an easy drive. Head on up. Come see the show April 17th. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. It's going to be a good time. I want to see you there. Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons. I will not let you down. Throwing a party. This I know how to do. Come see the show April 17th in Kokomo. Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. I will see you then. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
While some stations always be rocking, these guys will always be talking. They're never myopic, they're always on topic. Like politics ripe for the mocking.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
From 93 WIBC, the latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
It's tax time, and tax time is your time to buy a new Nissan and get double your tax refund or down payment only at Andy Moore Nissan of Indianapolis. For a limited time, when you buy any new Nissan, Andy Moore Nissan will double your tax refund or down payment up to $5,000. That means your $1,000 becomes $2,000. Your $2,000 becomes $4,000. your $4,000 becomes $8,000. This month only, Andy Moore Nissan will double your down payment up to $10,000. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. Our credit experts will get you approved with the best terms with as little as $0 down on any new Nissan in stock. Andy Moore Nissan is making deals other dealers won't and approving deals other dealers can't. Andy Moore Nissan, 4302 Lafayette Road, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Kendall and Casey.
I'm a young, up-and-coming professional. We are people who want to work. We want to engage. We don't want to be freeloaders. And yet, it makes it very hard for young people to actually do that.
Kendall and Casey, 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
Traffic on the 5s. Paul Bodenloss in for Matt Bear. What's going on?
On the east side, 465 northbound, that northbound ramp to eastbound 70, there's a crash. It's off right. 65 northbound from the north split to Meridian, also tapping the brakes this morning. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go the pros, go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
41 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 6:45.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's a story of media malpractice, and it's a doozy. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. Good to be with you. I mean, it's so purposeful and so hateful. You don't hate these people enough. And it's the Daily Beast. And here's the headline. Don't tell Melania. Trump once offered rising MAGA star his bed. The alleged comments cast new light on the president's eyebrow-raising marriage to Melania Trump. That's a salacious headline, we would agree. Very, very salacious headline. What happened? You may want to know. What is Trump doing? He's cheating on Melania. Oh, my gosh. On board his jet in 2023 was Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, 35. She's 35 now. I don't know if she was 35 then. Remember, you only have to be 25 to be a member of Congress. And she was pregnant. And Trump said, and here's the quote in the story. You heard the headline. The headline, don't tell Melania Trump once offered rising MAGA star his bed. And what happened? She was pregnant. She wasn't feeling well at all. And Trump said, if you need a bed to lay down in, there's one here on the plane. If you feel sick, you need to lay there. You can lay on it. Just don't tell Melania she doesn't like other women on my bed. Now, the headline was, don't tell Melania Trump once offered rising MAGA star his bed. The alleged comments cast new light on the president's eyebrow-raising marriage to Melania Trump. Is there something eyebrow-raising there? Or something very polite there? As Anna Paulina writes, I was very pregnant at the time. I was experiencing preeclampsia symptoms, but was not diagnosed. As soon as President Trump boarded the plane, being the gentleman and good person that he is, said that if I did not feel well, I could use the back room. He did this in a respectful way and in front of my husband, of which we thanked him. He also assured me they had a medical team on board in case anything happened, and they were aware of how pregnant I was. What possibly is the Daily Beast doing other than being the biggest scumbags on the planet? And that's something, because that's hard to do when you've got Media Matters for America out there, or Hoosier Inquirer, or Lord only knows what other so-called news organization that isn't. Oh, it's adorable. It's adorable. Except it's a real issue. And no one in the world of quote-unquote journalism is going to turn to them and say, what's wrong with you? Why possibly would you do this? Why would you write it this way? You needed the click that bad? This is a gross thing to say. Gross. There was a story out where people were saying, Tulsi Gabbard just said Trump and Vladimir Putin were very good friends. That didn't happen. Trump was talking about the Prime Minister of India, Modi, M-O-D-I. But it got reported as Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence, said it about Trump and Putin. So, okay, that becomes the story. The correction becomes this inconsequential thing. The story is already out there because people will look at a headline, repeat the headline 9 bajillion times, and then the next thing you know, when the truth comes out, people are like, yeah, we don't care. We'd rather believe this thing. We'd rather be chock-filled with the hate. Speaking of being chock-filled with the hate, this story out of Carmel about the inappropriate content displayed at a school event at the annual International Festival at Smoky Row Elementary. I'm going to get into this. But as much as I am not going to give Carmel Clay a pass, the so-called groups that were involved in this, they had productive meetings. The Jewish Community Relations Council, I don't want your productive meetings. I want to know why this wasn't a very loudly discussed issue. I want to know why you just sit back and take it time after time, as if somehow that's going to make people like you. The multi-faith and interfaith community has already proven they don't like you. Why are you still taking crap? Oh, it's a doozy, guys. It's an absolute doozy. And I have got that story coming up just after the break, the top of the hour. Matt Baer is out today. Paul Bodenloss has traffic.
On 465, it's a little sluggish between Washington and I-70 from an earlier crash, and 65 northbound slows from the north split to Meridian. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and the flash sale is on. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $109. When was the last time you gave your carpet some love? Listen, they are the largest air filter in your home, and unless those carpets are cleaned on a regular basis, the stuff that's in the fibers can be downright scary. There's a good chance you're breathing unhealthy levels of germs and dander and dirt and bacteria that just keep recirculating again and again. Well, with the Zero Res March flash sale special of 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $109, pick up the phone or go online and book your carpets today. And with their Gotta Love It guarantee, they're going to make sure your investment with them is a great experience. The Zero Res service is easy to line up. Just go online at zeroresindy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Mention WIBC, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at $109. $109! It's the Zero Res Flash Sale. Call 317-388-5141 or online at zeroresindy.com.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $15,000 off, and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. It's basketball season in Indiana, and while teams are making it drain on the court, Hope Plumbing is making it drain in your home with a $49 mainline snaking special. Now is the time to get your main lines checked before spring has sprung and it's too late. Don't wait. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE, 641-HOPE, HopePlumbing.com, and let's make it drain.
It's dent season, the time of year Mother Nature decides to take out her aggression on your vehicle. Don't paint your car, go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. When Mother Nature throws a tantrum and messes up the look of your vehicle, don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Blood, sweat, tears. At Bill Estes, we know it takes hard work and years of doing the right thing to build a business people can depend on. That's why we don't make empty promises and expect your trust. Estes earns it. From Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas to Ram 1500s and Chevy Silverados, we have the trucks you'll love at prices you can believe in. But don't just take our word for it. Your trust means something. Estes earns it. BillEstes.com.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Get C&J 6-point well inspection for the low price of only $285, and if you book now, you get double value from it because that $285 can also be used as a credit towards any other purchase above $900 for things like well cleaning, pump replacement, tank installation, or a new hydrant. This is Denny Smith, and you need to get this winter special before the season's in deep freeze. Just call C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL. That's 317-852-WELL.
Join WIBC this Saturday 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone. Kick off spring at their open house. Play Pansy Roulette where you can win 10 to 100% off select items.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, strong wind and maybe some large hail headed your way. I'll tell you when. People want property tax relief, and that was real obvious yesterday at the State House. And a bunch of people arrested at an Indianapolis synagogue. You won't believe what they were doing. Those stories after Fox News from the Technology Recyclers Studios, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 7 o'clock.
Israel has stopped ceasing fire. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's in Gaza, where Israel launched a lot of airstrikes.
Last night into this morning in Gaza, it is the heaviest wave of attacks since the ceasefire took effect in January. The IDF says it hit dozens of targets, going after Hamas targets like officials, leadership, and infrastructure.
Health officials in Gaza say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, including women and children. Fox's Alex Hogan also reads a statement from Israel's defense minister.
This decision comes after Hamas repeatedly refused to release our hostages and rejected all proposals presented by U.S. President's envoy, Steve Witkoff, as well as the mediators.
Today, President Trump will focus on ending another war. In a phone call with Russia's leader, Vladimir Putin, pushing for a ceasefire.
And I think Ukraine wants it. I know they want it. Everybody wants it. It's tremendous death. The bloodshed is unbelievable.
Now, the president remains under scrutiny also over weekend deportations of more than 200 illegal immigrants. A federal judge is demanding answers by noon about why his order to block 2 flights was ignored, asking the administration to show a plan to bring those illegal immigrants back from El Salvador where they were flown.
The Trump administration is saying that the judge who tried to stop them from deporting Venezuelan gang members via the Alien Enemies Act vastly overstepped his authority. Now, they're asking a circuit court to remove him from the case entirely.
Fox's Bill Maluzhin. 2 astronauts stuck in space since June are finally on their way back to Earth.
To Crew 9, safe journey home.
Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are on a SpaceX capsule. It undocked just after midnight and will return late in the afternoon, ending what was supposed to be a short mission to the International Space Station. But the Boeing craft that took them there last year had issues and couldn't bring them back. The boys of summer are back, even though it's still winter. The Major League Baseball season opener being played now in Japan. The Chicago Cubs lead the Los Angeles Dodgers 1-0 in the 3rd inning. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The biggest threat. It's 42 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar is clear. Your high today, 73. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. Severe weather is back in the forecast tomorrow as the storm moves in from Illinois.
I'd say the earliest time is between 5 or 6 p.m. And then they'll spread eastward across the state with time, and they might not be out of the area until almost 10 or 11 p.m.
The National Weather Service says there's a marginal risk for tornadoes, about 2%, and the storm will be gone by Wednesday night, late Wednesday night. At least 5 people broke into a historic Jewish temple on Indy's near North Side to film a music video, say police. The group shattered a glass door at Bethel Temple. When the cops arrived, they found people running from the building. Some had guns. Police took 5 people into custody. They found a gun and a camera inside. A videographer told IMPD that he was hired to record a rap video there. Indiana Landmarks Foundation, which owns the synagogue at 34th and Ruckle Street, says it's the city's oldest Jewish site. The sounds of people who have had enough were heard at the State House Monday. Here's John Herrick.
What you're hearing there is hundreds of Hoosiers coming together demanding property tax relief. One of the speakers was Commissioner Jesse Bohannon of Marshall County.
Our system is so broken that I can't cut your taxes locally. It's on autopilot.
He says state government needs to get smaller and give more money back to hardworking citizens. Lawmakers are trying to reach a compromise on property tax reform. The rally was put on by WIBC's Kendall and Casey. Sean Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana's unemployment rate is up a little bit from where the nationwide average is. It's at about 4.4%. That's according to January's numbers. And Hoosier leaders say there are about 85,000 jobs open statewide with opportunities in various industries. Lots of industries in Indiana and around the country are being impacted by tariffs, including farmers.
Crop prices not where they want to be or need to be for farmers, so there's a concern about profitability this year.
And Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business tells WIBC's Tony Katz that you throw in even the potential of tariffs and you could have a negative impact on what is a very important industry to the Hoosier state. What a game last night in Minnesota. The Indiana Pacers fought back, took the game to overtime against the Timberwolves and won 132-130 on Obi Toppin's fadeaway three-pointer in the corner. Head coach Rick Carlisle says his team never quit.
A great example of resilience and wherewithal to get an early lead. Then get down by 8 or 10, and then work our way back into it, get it to overtime, and just outlast these guys.
And the Pacers now have 5 straight home games, including tomorrow night's game against the Dallas Mavericks. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Paul Bodenloss.
Good morning. On the east side, 465 northbound, slows Washington to I-70. There was an earlier crash in that area. 6570 northbound, heavy between Michigan and the North Split. This report is sponsored by Fiesel Roofing. Most roofing companies disappear in 5 years or less. For over 35 years, Fiesel has been the reliable roofer. Visit FieselINC.com and get $2,000 off your next roof. Restrictions apply. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist, what's happening?
Hey, good morning. We're going to see a beautiful day today. We'll look for mostly sunny skies, a few clouds at times, breezy and warmer. We'll get up to 73 degrees today, and the winds could be a touch gusty here at times, 20 to 25 miles per hour, especially later in the afternoon. Clouds increase tonight ahead of our next storm system, and it stays relatively mild. Lows will only fall into the mid-50s. On Wednesday, much of the day I think will be dry, but it is going to be windy. Winds may gust upwards of about 40 miles per hour. Now, some scattered rain and thunderstorms may be possible later in the afternoon into the early evening hours. We'll look for highs into the mid-60s. And the first day of spring on Thursday, we'll see a few scattered morning rain showers changing over to a few snow showers, blustery conditions with highs only in the 40s.
That is Tara Hastings of Wish TV. Tara, thank you so much. Appreciate that. 41 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:07. So if I follow the Ryan Hedrick story properly, some guys wanted to make a rap video, and so they decided to break into a synagogue. I would now like to see the rap video. I would like to see what it is that they came up with. I'd like to know what the end result was. Because why a synagogue? And if they had broken into a church, I'd be like, why a church? And if they had broken into a mosque, they were never going to break into a mosque. They would have been too scared. Tony Katz, 93, WIBC. Good morning. What? Did I say something wrong? Or did I say something so absolutely on the nose that no one can refute it? Let me give you an example. There's a story out of Current and Carmel, youarecurrent.com. Now, I had heard about this story, and Nigel was texting me some stuff about it yesterday because I saw this statement from the Jewish Community Relations Council of Indianapolis that the JCRC, that's what they're called, was made aware of anti-Semitic incidents in the Carmel Clay School District, including at Smoky Row Elementary during its International Festival. They never tell you what it is over there at the JCRC. Somehow that eludes these people. But oh, look, all these people gathered, very important people, and they sat down and they started to really have a conversation and understand one another. Well, what happened? The story goes with the reporting that at the festival, you have students and families presenting information about their cultural heritage. And so there was a booth, I guess, or a setup at the International Festival that was talking about someone's cultural heritage. It's quiz time. And it starts with, who is the father of Issa? Now, if you don't know, ISA, or they spelled it ISSA, is how Jesus is referred to in the Quran. So that's what this is all about, and it's got a series of questions. And then question 7, did the Jews kill Jesus? Issa, in the way it's done here. You're like, oh, well, I guess this is cultural. And then you get to another part of their display. The Jews spoke very ill of Mary and Issa. Those who disbelieve said this is nothing but clear magic. And then next to that, the children of Israel have always been a difficult nation. If you think we were difficult yesterday, wait till you see what we do today. Good Lord. You know who's learning we're a difficult nation? Hamas. Right now, with a whole bunch of airstrikes. So this happens at this international festival. The children of Israel has always been a difficult nation. I think the only thing that these people find difficult about Jews is that they keep surviving everything that they throw at them. These people won't die already. Is that the frustrating part? Is that what makes them difficult? This got set up at this event. Why in the world would this be set up? And Carmel Clay Schools is apologizing for inappropriate content. Dr. Beresford, I think you're awful, but neither here nor there. At what moment did somebody setting up this so-called international festival realize, hey, this might be a problem? Did anybody look at this and say, hey, this shouldn't be here? Did anybody look at this and say, hey, we shouldn't be doing this? Did anybody say anything, or were you like, so afraid to say something because you know some people were afraid that they said nothing? I would like to know which way it went. And then, what was this conversation? And this is where I move away from Carmel Clay Schools, which has its issues. And this story, being as silent as it is despicable. I move over to this group, the JCRC. Can I ask why you're so damn quiet about these things? What are you doing? You're pointing to Governor Braun's executive order? I want to know where the outrage is. Why is this happening in the schools? Who allowed this? Where is the JCRC to demand someone gets fired? No, they're going to sit there and they're going to have some very, very, very good conversations. Oh, holy hell. Holy hell. Stop having conversations and start demanding heads. And maybe this stuff will stop. Maybe it'll stop. Now, this actually ties into a couple other things going on across the country and in Indianapolis. And it is about how one responds. Why is it that on some subjects we just take the abuse, and on other subjects we fight? Why is that? This is some pretty ugly stuff that took place, and I just don't understand the silence. Do I think it is the whole of Carmel? No. Do I think it's the whole of Indiana? Of course not. Do I think you have to be louder when it happens? Yeah. This? Yeah. And once again, has the JCRC proven that they can't talk? Yeah, they have. I don't know why, but they keep doing it. Oh, and I know there are some people out there saying, oh, sure, Tony, we know why you're discussing this story. Okay. For those people, I can't make you happy. I'm not going to try. It doesn't matter. This is a problem. I addressed it. Not my fault if you don't like it. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Recent talk about rising interest rates. You've got economic uncertainty. It might have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Are you going to get the price that you need? Is it going to take too long? You don't have to figure it out by yourself, guys. There is a friendly, no-pressure, experienced agent eating and sleeping Indianapolis real estate. We're talking about Mark Dietel. Maybe what you're looking for is a guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but you don't want to have to give up your hard-earned equity to do it. You need that equity. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Crystal in Franklin said, I was moving to Kentucky and needed to move fast. I got the Mark Dietel marketing plan and was blown away. The plan worked. I got a full list price offer the first weekend. Just like that, Mark and his team got it done. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel. Do it today. 317-755-4232. Get all the details. Go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Paul Bodenloss in for Matt Bear. What's going on?
On 70 heading westbound near German Church, there's a crash taking out the two left lanes. Also 465 northbound still sluggish between Brookville and I-70. This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
41 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:16.
Applied Innovation has made a lot of IT directors happy with their managed print services offering. Listen to a few of them talk about Applied Innovation. Chris Pfeiffer, IT Director for Doran Mayhew.
So we were able to reduce the number of machines that we use, but increase their capacity. And then basically we cut our managed print services bill in half by doing that.
Applied Innovation customer Linda Philly Watson, Director of IT at LaSalle Bristol.
The devices are well managed, they're well maintained, well supported, and that's less time for me. More time for me to spend on other projects, on other priorities.
Applied Innovation customer Craig Gilliam, IT Director for Suncoast Skin Solutions.
I think it's just the simplicity of everything. They're quick, fast, and so if you need any help, they're on the spot.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
dreams don't get in. That's our us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's our us. When dreams don't get in. That's our us.
We live and we die. We learn, we try. We on the same ride. Slowly slow, are you alive?
I have now heard the interview Hammer and Nigel did with the woman who was thrown out of the chatterbox, and I have heard the interview done with the owner of the chatterbox. Allow me, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Great to be with you. We know the basic story. The basic story is that this woman and this guy, it turns out there's two people. They're wearing Make America Great Again hats. They enter the chatterbox. The chatterbox threw them out. This white woman, this black man, Mr. Holistic, I didn't know the dude. I didn't know about him until I heard the interview with Hammer and Nigel. Check the podcast, wherever it is you get your podcasts. And the bartender threw them out, and this is the audio of that interaction.
I have a question.
No, we're not answering
Why?
questions. Get out
Why?
of the bar.
Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't. Get out of my bar right now.
You're not welcome.
I'm not f***ing around. Get out of my bar.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Out.
Because I'm wearing a Trump
Yes.
vest. That's wild.
I don't care. Get out.
We can call the police, or you can just leave.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo! Get out of my bar.
The bartender, a man, man, grabbed a baseball bat and threatened these people. The owner of the chatterbox proceeded to do an interview where the argument is that these people came in looking for a problem. That's his argument.
At one point, the bartender stomps a baseball bat.
That was the reporting from WTHR. This is the owner here making his...
Andrechik is the longtime owner of Chatterbox. He says a group of people intentionally misgendered and harassed his employee. They were then kicked out, but he said one of them returned, this time with the camera rolling.
So what's on the camera is true. We felt very threatened, and that was the important part, but it was set up first. And it was just so vile, so vile.
His argument is that these people saw a gay pride flag and walked in to cause a problem. He brings absolutely no proof of this. The idea that people were threatened because somebody may have been misgendered is not threatening. He's emotional. I don't believe he is saying anything that is truthful. I don't believe him. I don't believe the owner of the Chatterbox. I think that he knows that his bartender screwed up, engaged in an act of intimidation, threatened violence, and won't say anything. Pretty ugly stuff, if you ask me, and despicable. I heard the interview, and I saw a video of this woman. I don't really have an opinion of her. Do I think she was looking for attention? I wouldn't know. Is this the kind of attention you would want? I don't know. It doesn't seem it. Especially if she's getting threatened. Don't threaten the bar. Don't threaten this woman. The conversation should be about why it is that the city of Indianapolis is allowing what it is that the video clearly shows, which is intimidation of a potential patron or of anybody. Why is Joe Hogsett silent? Why is the city county council silent? Why is the prosecutor silent? And why is media so okay with the silence? Do you know how embarrassing that all is? If a black patron was threatened, Hogsett would say something. If a gay patron was threatened, Hogsett would say something. If a Muslim citizen was threatened, Hogsett would say something. These two and nothing? The bigotry of Joe Hogsett, of Dan Parker, of the City County Council, how is it anything but? And for all the people saying, well, they can throw out anybody they want, well, that's my argument. I'm the one who makes that argument. But you're the ones who thought that Masterpiece Cake Shop should have to bake the cake, so I'd say serve the damn beer. You want it to be your way all the time. The people defending Chatterbox, I think, have put themselves in an absolutely despicable position. Truly ugly. That they can go about making this kind of statement. There was nothing offered here from Chatterbox as any level of proof whatsoever. It was emotional. Beginning to end, they offered nothing that would be able to be corroborated. They offered nothing to show their point of view. If they had, we'd have a different conversation. The bartender engaged in intimidation and acts of violence in order to remove somebody from their bar who simply disagreed with them politically. That's what the video shows. I don't know if this woman and this guy are the greatest people in the world or not. I'll leave that for others. I don't know if the bartender just had a bad day, but it's there on video, and that stinks. But the commentary and the response from the owner of the Chatterbox condones what the bartender did and doesn't bring an ounce of proof. No, I don't believe the Chatterbox at all. And I think that the silence from our civic leaders once again proves how full of crap they are. Sloganeering so nobody calls them a name, but they don't actually care. Isn't that right, women who work in the Hogsett administration? Matt Bear's out today. Paul Bodenlaw says traffic.
On the east side, 70 westbound near German Church Road, there's a crash taking out the two left lanes. That causes delays back to Mount Comfort. Also on the east side, 465 northbound sluggish between 74 and 70, and 69 southbound sluggish between 106th and 82nd. This report is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
And Nigel show this afternoon, 3:06. Jeff Boggs, former writer for Letterman, will join us in studio. The biggest stories of the day. Join us.
Planning means peace of mind. Planning with a fiduciary means security. Matt Bear here. Hey, the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth can help you really dial into your retirement aspirations and timeline with a customized financial portfolio that says you and you only. Call for a complimentary consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Now, we all know too well you can't control what's happening with the stock market, but you can control how to plan for it. That's Trajan Wealth. They'll listen to you, work with you as a team, and Trajan is a fiduciary, meaning they are legally obligated to act in your best interest. That's real peace of mind. That's security. Call and schedule at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
If you love spring and Indy but hate to paint, do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And The house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance Pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and you know it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The biggest threats. It's 42 degrees in downtown Indianapolis with a clear radar for now. Your high today, 73. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. Bad weather, including large hail, could move across the state by tomorrow afternoon. Matt Eckhoff, a forecaster at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
We'll see wind gusts maybe up to 45 miles an hour tomorrow in places, and then with the cold front coming through after the storms pass by, it can actually mix with and change to snow by Thursday morning.
Eckhoff says no snow today, warm temperatures, but you could expect some wind. It was a setup. That's what the owner of Chatterbox Jazz Bar in downtown Indy is saying about the incident where a woman wearing a MAGA hat last weekend was kicked out of the bar and then filmed it.
Came in and immediately misgendering my bartender very aggressively, continued to do that and mock her. And she refused to serve them for that reason.
He tells Wish TV the video only shows about 20% of the encounter, but he says now his staff is forced to find a solution and add security to make sure there's no retribution at the bar. A federal judge is demanding answers after the Trump administration ignored a court order to halt deportation flights.
The judge wants the Trump administration to answer several questions, including how many people were deported under the Alien Enemies Act and what time did these planes take off from the U.S. The judge is frustrated that the Trump administration did not follow his order to turn the planes back around. As Democrats warn of a constitutional crisis, the White House argues the flights were already in international airspace, so they maintain the judge's ruling no longer applied.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera reporting. Indiana Governor Mike Braun says he wants school and local governments to be financially healthy.
But we don't want them to be so healthy that they flood you with all kinds of spending, and then they want your taxes to go up.
Which is why he said at a property tax relief hosted by WIBC's Kendall and Casey at the State House Monday that he's continuing to fight for common sense property tax reform. Crop prices are not ideal right now, says Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business.
Then you throw in the potential of tariffs and what that impact could be, just adds uncertainty to an industry that obviously is very important to the state of Indiana.
And he tells WIBC's Tony Katz that farmers he's spoken with are a little more concerned about the Trump tariffs. The White House says absolutely not in response to a French politician suggesting that the United States should return the Statue of Liberty. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called him a low-level politician and said that France should be very grateful to the United States. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Obi Toppin came up big for the Indiana Pacers, which with a clutch three-pointer last night in overtime, leading the Pacers to a 132-130 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Pacers were missing 4 starters.
We understood that they just played yesterday. It was a back-to-back, especially us going into overtime. We knew we was young. We got young legs. Go out there and run them. And I feel like we did that most of the game.
Yeah, and the Pacers are back for 5 straight home games beginning Wednesday night with the Dallas Mavericks. In fact, the Pacers have 8 of their next 10 games at home. Purdue head coach Matt Painter says the team isn't playing its best basketball right now, but hey, it's March, and the Boilermakers are ready for a strong tournament run.
You have to wash away the past. You got to feel good about yourself. You know, you got to play. You got to compete. But you also got to go out there and have fun. You got to be loose. You got to be tough and stingy from a defensive standpoint, but you got to be loose offensively and have fun.
And Purdue is a 4 seed. They play 13-seeded High Point. High Point's never been in the tournament. This game starts Thursday afternoon at 12:40 in Providence, Rhode Island. And the Colts introduced safety Cameron Bynum, yeah, that's his name, Cameron Bynum, on Monday. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:35, traffic on the 5s. Here's Paul Bodenloss.
On the east side, 70 westbound, just after German Church, there's a crash on the left shoulder, causing delays back to Mount Comfort. Also, 465 on the west side, heading northbound, sluggish between 86th and 865. And finally, 69 southbound slows 106 to 82nd Street. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
40 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the marketplace, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe not. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. During downtime, I'm getting ready for what's next on the show. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm looking at all the stuff, cool stuff, odd stuff, strange stuff, interesting stuff, weird stuff. I have bought, I have sold, I have done it all. Today on the Marketplace, brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. See if the Attorney General's office has money for you. It's your money. Go get it. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Indiana Unclaimed. Not easy. .gov. Check it out. See it for yourself. This is a dispenser. It is a dispenser of bourbon. And it's basically it's like a piece of wood. It's a little carved. And then it has a spigot on it. And you can screw in the bottle. So you take the bottle, you have it upright, right? You screw this on, you turn it upside down. Now the bottle's upside down. And you open the spigot and you get yourself a nice bourbon. Or I don't know, you can do it with a scotch, I guess, or a tequila or a rye. I don't know. You can do it with whatever it is that you would like. It's $20. $20. The question is this a good idea? I think this is a good idea if you're having a party. I don't think this is a good idea as a standard in your home bar. I think you're begging for a leaking problem. I think you're just begging for an issue. And I can't imagine that and maybe it's me, because when I'm trying things, right, I'm not a drinker, I'm a sipper. I like to try a bunch of different things. I'm trying things all over the place, all the time. So when I'm doing that, I want to move around. I want to try all different stuff. It is to me a mistake to have one thing out there and be like, well, I guess I got to finish that. Different days, different interests, palates a little bit different, etc. So for a party, I can live with this. $20, sure. Fun, fine, as long as it doesn't leak. And it's a little steampunk, it's a little simplistic, but could be fun. As a daily thing, but maybe somebody's got a drink that they love. They've got their one thing. They've got their bourbon, they've got their tequila, and this is what they do. Then okay. So I would argue for the party, not for the everyday. This is quite all right. It is in Fishers, and you can pick this up. Is there at the Facebook Marketplace waiting for you. The alcohol dispenser. I guess you could put other things in there. You know, like eggnog. You should always have eggnog on tap. And the key is unrefrigerated eggnog. It should be warm and maybe clumpy, which is no way to treat eggnog. But if you use this, that's happening. Or I don't know, use mouthwash. You can find something. Eggnog or mouthwash. That's right. These are the two places I went to. It is there on the Marketplace. Check it out for yourself. Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning. You need a new car? Andy Moore Ford has got you covered. The deals are out there. The 2024 Expedition Platinums, you can save $15,000 off MSRP. You got a lot of people to drive around every day. You should be looking at the Ford Expedition. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost, up to 400 horsepower. I'm driving one right now. I'm driving the Limited, and it has got some speed, people. It can move. If you need something a little bit smaller, but you still want the space, how about the 2024 Ford Edge SE? You could save over $6,500 off MSRP. So many options at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. So many cars to look at. Head on over, check out the lot, talk to the people, Chris and Alora, the whole gang over there. Fantastic people. You need service? AndyMooreFord.com. You can schedule your service right there online. They'll come pick up your vehicle, take care of it, bring it right back to you on Main Street in Plainfield. Talk to Andy Moore Ford today or find them online at AndyMooreFord.com. That's Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. That's how you spell it. AndyMooreFord.com.
Indianapolis roads, a total disaster. Some of the worst potholes in America. Am I right?
A car on Keystone Avenue just fell into one the size of a swimming pool.
Disgraceful. These roads should be great again. But right now, they look like the surface of the moon.
Suspension repair shops are making a fortune.
Rigged system. But Matt Baer, he's the guy to trust. Tremendous at avoiding these disasters. Just tremendous.
Matt Baer, making your commute great again. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
When it comes to managed network services and IT support, Applied Innovation is at the top of the list for these Applied Innovation customers. Sean Carnahan, sales manager for Adventure Homes.
They do all of our computers, so they take care of all of our issues, anything that comes up with our servers, any tech support, software we need, any equipment we need.
Eric Lane, director of information technology for Raleigh Williams Paint Spot.
Applied Innovation has been very proactive, and they've laid out a plan for here is what we look like today, and here's what we want to look like in 18 months and then going forward. So it's the long-term vision that they have that other companies didn't.
Ashley Crane, IT director for Belmont Beverage.
They're just a really great company that has a lot to offer to a small IT team like ourselves.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedyinnovation.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Rocket.com is a single seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, even refinance your home. Visit Rocket.com today, the new home for all things home ownership.
Traffic on the 5s. Paul Bodenloss in for Matt Bear. What's going on?
On the east side, 70 westbound between Mount Comfort and German Church, hitting the brakes from an earlier crash. 69 southbound, sluggish 106 to 82nd. Also on the west side, 70 westbound at Ronald Reagan Parkway, there's a crash at the exit ramp, and 465 northbound, sluggish between 86th and 865. This report is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
40 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:45. You need a tree. It's a classic line. It's a tale as old as time. You're sitting in your backyard and you're like, my gosh, I need a tree. But you don't have a tree guy. See, that's your problem. You don't have a guy who does trees. But now you do. CircleCityTrees.com. These are your tree people. You can go visit them at the Flower and Patio Show. The Indianapolis Flower and Patio Show going on through March 23rd. They're there. Just go by, say hello, tell them Tony Katz sent you, and see what Circle City Trees has to offer, because they have this massive selection of mature trees, and they do the installation. So you don't know how to plant a tree. Don't worry about it. They've got you covered. And when we talk about mature trees, we're talking about trees that can be up to 30 feet tall, giving you privacy from that weird neighbor, giving you shade on your deck, increasing the beauty of your backyard, giving a little depth, a little energy. And they've got all kinds: evergreen, shade trees, fruit trees, ornamental trees, flowering trees. They just got a whole bunch of trees, and you're sitting there without a tree. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. Go talk to Circle City Trees. They're right there in Zionsville. Check out the entire showroom, really the lot. Every tree has a personality. You can pick yours. CircleCityTrees.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-768-3005. 317-768-3005. 768-3005, or online at CircleCityTrees.com.
Join WIBC this Saturday 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show, live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone. Kick off spring at their open house. Play Pansy Roulette, where you can win 10 to 100% off select items.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting in the evening.
Yeah, that story about France wanting the Statue of Liberty back. I mean, it's the kind of thing that someone says, and there's no taking it seriously. It's like, just look how angry I am. Ooh. Raphael Glucksmann, give us back the Statue of Liberty. The U.S. no longer represents the values that led France to offer the statue. Sure. Whatever you say. Tony Katz. 93 WIBC. Good morning. We're not giving back the Statue of Liberty. Caroline Levitt, she's the White House press secretary. She had a take.
Something different. There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So they should be very grateful to our great country.
Okay. The argument would be, if it wasn't for France, we wouldn't have a country. And then the argument to that is, well, that was 250 years ago. Can we live in the now? It's the best timeline. It's the greatest timeline. You say something dopey, France, you're going to get this kind of response. You knew it was coming. Why just say it? By the way, is anybody heading to France for freedom? Walk down the streets of Paris. It's not an easy thing to do today. And certainly, we have our own issues in the United States. But there's still no place doing it the way we do it. And the argument is, are we doing it to the best of our ability? And this brings about the conversation of the deportations. And there are just so many people outraged that President Trump didn't listen to a court order. Who does he think he is?
I mean, if you have lawyers in court saying, okay, we're sorry, we won't do these flights anymore, and the president and the border czar, Tom Homan, saying, oh, yeah, there are going to be more flights today, we're just going to put our head down and plow through, what gives?
Well, I don't know what happens today, but I know what happened over the weekend, and they defied a court order. I mean, they may be saying in court, they may have said in court yesterday that, well, we won't defy a court order. We won't, we'll listen to the court. But in fact, they did not. They defied a court order.
You mean like Joe Biden when he continued to pay off people's student loans with our money? But the real argument here, Eugene Robinson, is whether or not the court order is in and of itself valid. Does a judge get to make this claim? Now, this was the argument of Stephen Miller, an advisor to the president, over there on CNN. It was a very interesting back and forth.
And relief.
I don't speak for the White House. You are here to speak
I will do.
You're here to speak for the White House.
I
just want you to answer that one simple question.
I am.
Okay?
Ready? Here we go. Under a proper reading of the Constitution, district court judges provide relief to individual plaintiffs seeking relief. District court judges do not have the authority, as a general matter, to enjoin the functioning of the executive branch. But their authority is at its lowest point when the president is exercising his powers as commander-in-chief. And I asked you a question, you never answered it. Can a judge enjoin troop movements overseas? Can a district court judge enjoin troop movements overseas?
Stephen,
yes or no?
I am not going to get into the
just say no, and then you'll know that I'm right.
This is a
just
separate
say no,
question,
and you'll know that
Stephen.
I'm right.
Okay, we're not talking about...
I mean, that's a very compelling argument. And it is a destructive one in many ways. The question needs to be asked as to whether the judge can engage this idea of you can't deport these people, return them. Does a judge have that authority? Does the president need to listen to a judge who doesn't have the authority? Why is it that we believe that any judge anywhere can stop a duly elected president because they don't like something? That is peculiar. And that is a purposeful misrepresentation by the political left, this idea that the judge can do anything and you have to deal with it, which is why they are so hell-bent on control of the courts. And now you're hearing people on the political right, I think it's in smaller pockets, saying, well, let's do what the left was going to do. Let's pack the court. Remember, the left wanted to end the filibuster when they thought they were going to be in charge. Now that they're not in charge, all they want is the filibuster. They don't believe in the rights of the minority when they are the majority. They don't have an American point of view. They want to pack the court because these conservatives can't be trusted and they're not real Americans and they're not focused on democracy. So now people are arguing Trump. Go pack the court. There's no rule about how many Supreme Court justices. That's not listed in the Constitution. There's no number. Go put 15 people on the court. Go put 82 people on the court. Whatever it is you want to do. If these people, if the left believes they can utilize the court as a weapon to stop the duly elected president from engaging the tasks that are in Article 2, well, then, my gosh, go do the other thing and get protection. It's not the country we want. It's not the country we want. We don't want judges as activists. Bad things, man. And yes, the judiciary is destroying the judiciary and trust in it. And they should stop. Matt Baer has traffic, except he's not here today. So Paul Bodenloss is in for Matt Baer with the traffic. What's up, Paul?
On the west side, 70 westbound at Ronald Reagan, there's a crash at the exit ramp with a car in the ditch. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
About Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation? Your neighbor Chip did.
I'm a real car guy, and I have a garage that I got tired of fighting the epoxy fight. Finally, I saw something on Facebook, and I got interested in Galaxy. Looked like a real good solution to me.
Homer Business, Galaxy's got you covered.
My house is on a post tension to slab. It can get cracked, so what these guys did was they came in and they grooved out all those little cracks. And now it's one complete lovely surface, very pleasant on the eyes.
Transforms pools, patios, garage floors, driveways, and more. And Galaxy Concrete Coatings comes with a lifetime warranty.
You can just tell by looking at it, it's going to be impervious to anything I can throw at it for as long as I can imagine. And I haven't looked back since. I love it.
Click on Galaxy Concrete Coatings today. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings, we are out of this world.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association. Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream. Or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $15,000 off, and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
If this is the year to build your custom dream home, Joyner Homes is ready to help make your dream come true. They offer the flexibility to build on your own lot, allowing you to build a home in the place you've always envisioned. A dedicated in-house team of experts will guide you through every step, offering unmatched personalization and flexibility. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans to inspire you. There's no time like the present to get in touch with Joyner Homes to talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Visit JoynerHomes.com.
The floodgates are about to open in Indiana as spring approaches. Don't press your luck thinking your sump pump is working properly before it's too late. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains and rising waters that can sneak inside and wreak havoc in your home. Luckily for you, during the month of March, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering a $300 off the purchase of a new sump pump with a battery backup. Call Hope Plumbing today and keep your head above water.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, severe weather is headed your way. Can we expect tornadoes? I'll tell you what the owner of a bar in Indianapolis is saying about a video showing a customer getting the boot, and what people are saying about property taxes. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News from the Technology Recyclers Studios, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 8 o'clock.
Israel goes back on the attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Hamas cannot be part of the future in the Gaza Strip. Full stop.
That's Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein after a new round of airstrikes bombarded Gaza, where health officials say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, including women and children.
The IDF saying it's going after Hamas targets like officials and infrastructure. The renewed fighting comes during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, and footage this morning shows the widespread extent of some of the damage across the Strip. The first stage of the ceasefire ended 2 weeks ago. Negotiators have yet to hammer out a second stage, which would free the remaining hostages.
Fox's Alex Hogan. None of the war in Ukraine. President Trump keeps trying to stop it, and we'll talk to Russian leader Vladimir Putin today.
The call between the two leaders comes after a week of negotiations. That began when the United States and Ukraine agreed on a plan for a 30-day ceasefire. We could soon find out if Russia is ready to sign on to it too.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. A federal judge has given the Trump administration till noon to answer questions about controversial weekend deportations he had ordered halted and why the order was ignored. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox,
We know we are going to win this battle in court.
She maintains the planes carrying alleged Venezuelan gang members in the U.S. illegally were in international airspace when the judge ordered the planes to turn around. A first in Texas, a midwife criminally charged, accused of performing abortions.
Maria Rojas is charged with 2 felonies, illegal performance of an abortion and practicing medicine without a license under Texas' near-total abortion ban. State Attorney General Ken Paxton says Rojas illegally operated at least 3 clinics in the Houston area where the procedures were performed. Opponents of the ban say it's too vague regarding when medically necessary exceptions are allowed, and a bill has been filed in the current state legislative session to clarify that.
That's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It'll get weaker as it gets closer to you. 42 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 73 on tap for a very nice day. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Severe weather is in the forecast for tomorrow, and the greatest threat will be wind and hail, says Matt Eckhoff at the National Weather Service.
So we'll have to keep an eye on that in case that changes. But right now, the way the storm is setting itself up, it doesn't look like tornadoes are going to be the primary threat this time around.
And he says today will be windy as well, and windier as the day goes on. You've probably heard about the woman in a MAGA hat getting the boot out of Chatterbox Jazz Bar along Mass Avenue in Indianapolis last weekend. Now, the owner says that video doesn't show the full story.
This is the video from last Friday, posted by the person who said the bar discriminated against them.
Get out of my bar right now.
The owner says it doesn't show what happened before the person started recording.
Came in and immediately misgendering my bartender very aggressively, continued to do that and mock her.
That's why the owner believes they were targeted.
We were set up. This was a plan to do something like this. We don't believe the people that came in to instigate even knew what Chatterbox was, but they came in because of our pride flag.
And that's Wish TV's Cody Fisher reporting. The bar says they're adding security to help with people that might want to visit the bar and cause harm. Indiana's employment rate is a little above the national average, right now at 4.5%. The national average is at 4%. State labor force says that there were about 85,000 jobs open last month in various fields. The fight over property tax relief brought hundreds of people to the Indiana State House Monday. Here's John Herrick.
Where's my money?
These Hoosiers say they're tired of seeing their property taxes go up, and they're not happy that a bill that included Governor Mike Braun's plan to reset property taxes back to 2021 levels was removed over concerns that it would cost governments and schools too much. Braun says there's a way to keep schools and governments financially healthy.
But we don't want them to be so healthy that they flood you with all kinds of spending, and then they want your taxes to go up.
The property tax bill is being reviewed by the House Ways and Means Committee. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Madness in the Circle City. I'm talking about March Madness, when the NCAA men's basketball tournament comes back to the capital city. Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business tells WIBC's Tony Katz that basketball rakes in big cash.
The estimated economic impact is about $14 million from that event, so nothing to sneeze at, to be sure. And, you know, the NIT is back, too. The semifinals and championship game of the NIT will be at Butler.
And he says if Purdue could make it back to Indy somehow by winning 2 games, it'll bring even more cash in. Purdue plays High Point in Providence, Rhode Island on Thursday as the number 4 seed. The Indiana Pacers beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 132-130 in overtime. Shades of Tyrese Halliburton fadeaway three-pointer last week. Obi Toppin basically duplicated the same shot. He hit a three-pointer with about 3 seconds left. The Pacers are back home against Dallas on Wednesday. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Paul Bodenloss.
On the west side, 70 westbound at Ronald Reagan Parkway, still have a crash at the exit ramp. Also 465 northbound, sluggish between 86th and 865. And on 65 heading southbound, it taps the brakes between 38th and 21st. And you'll find 65 northbound sluggish as well between Keystone and the South Split. This report is sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop all the American sale at Grand Appliance for slam dunk savings on select American-made appliances. Don't miss out. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand today. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist, what's happening?
Hey, good morning. We are going to see a warm and breezy day today. We'll go with a few clouds here or there. We'll get up to about 73 degrees. Now, we are going to look for those winds to pick up, could gust 20-25 miles per hour. Tonight, a few clouds around. Lows will fall into the mid-50s. And on Wednesday, I think much of the day will be dry. Best chance of showers and thunderstorms will be after about 5 o'clock. Maybe some of those could be on the stronger side with some gusty winds. Non-thunderstorm winds may gust up to 40 miles per hour for your Wednesday. Highs in the mid-60s. And the first day of spring, we're going to look for a few snow showers possible on Thursday. Little to no accumulation expected, but blustery and colder with highs in the mid-40s.
Do you know how insane you sound?
I know. Yes, I do. I will say that the colder temperatures are only going to last for like one day. So we'll be into the 40s on Thursday and then back into the upper 50s for the end of the week.
You'll notice I didn't say what she sounded insane about, but she knew.
I did. Snow on the first day of spring. Oh, yeah, I'm well aware of it.
70 degrees today, snow coming. It's just so weird. But the wind thing, is it just because maybe I'm paying a little more attention because of the show, or has it been a windy spring? Coming into spring, I should say.
I feel like it has been a windy spring. I think we're just in this pattern of getting these storm systems moving in. And so out ahead of them, we get really warm. And with the really warm temperatures, we get the windy conditions as well. So, yeah, because I feel like it has been an active spring, like just this parade of storms moving in.
That is Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. Appreciate it, Tara. Thank you. 40 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:08.
Sir, and when you signed the CR,
Who are you with?
Sir, I'm with NBC News.
Oh, that's the same one. I don't want to talk to NBC anymore. I think you're so discredited.
Mr. President. Trump doing Trump things. What are you going to say? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Success. That is the only way to describe the property tax rally that took place at the Capitol yesterday. And it was during the show, so I didn't get to go. We brought on 2 new stations for the midday show. So for all the trolls and people who hate me, don't worry, I'll get fired soon enough, and then you'll be able to gloat. But for now, just sit there in your wrongness and be wrong and take it and suffer, and I'll smile. Right? I got today's gloat. You might have tomorrow's. Could not make it. To the Republican Party, you let Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels win this thing. You did this. Don't get angry with them. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Tony, it was just a rally, and it wasn't even a lot of people. It ran the news cycle. That's what Casey Daniels and Rob Kendall did. A news cycle. Every single outlet covered the property tax conversation last night on their newscast. And you can be like, nobody watches those newscasts. Some people watch those newscasts. And this morning, everybody's got a headline about a property tax rally, which has people saying, yeah, my property taxes are too high. Republicans, you let this happen. You somehow decided that it was wrong for the people to say, we're giving too much money. We don't actually own our property. And you thought it was okay for every mayor in the state to say, we're going to cut services. Now, they all didn't say that. But yeah, it got said. It's this threat thing that goes on. If you cut the taxes, we're not going to be able to save your grandma when there's a fire. Yes, you will. You'll figure it out. We believe in you. Or we'll elect people who can actually handle the thing. The answer cannot be, well, if you cut taxes, we can't take care of you. No. You have to be able to engage growth and recognize where people are at. You can't take any haircut. That's exactly why people hate government. Well, you cut taxes and we'll get rid of all amenities, right? You hear that argument. You might actually get rid of an amenity. That's true. That is true. And then you can ask the question of whether or not the city should be offering those amenities to begin with. And some cities might say yes, and some cities might say no, and cities are different, and that's fine as well. But the people who showed up, they want less intrusion. They want less government. It's their money. And for the people who say it's going to save them $300 a year, who cares? Which I have heard people say, you'll never win an election. Don't discount people and their dollars and what moves them. And the Republicans did. How is it possible that every Republican in the State House didn't line up to speak at this thing? Why in the world would you hide from this? That's insane. You got played. You got beat. Do the Republicans know they got beat yesterday? They got beat. By the way, Democrats, you get beat every day. So you're used to it. Republicans, it's rare. And you got beat by Casey Daniels and Rob Kendall. That's right. You hate that guy. You hate him. And he's loud and he's never happy and all the jazz. I get it. I get it. And he won. There's just not a debate. Dear God, 500 people showed up and owned the news cycle. Game over. If I were you, I'd be cutting property taxes. Also, to any media outlet that covered the property tax rally yesterday and didn't mention Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels, man, there's a special place in hell. What kind of journalism is this? You're not going to mention the people who organized this thing? You're not going to mention the people who drove the crowd, who got the governor to show up? You're not going to mention Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels and WIBC? Good Lord. That is cheap. That is not journalism. That is cheap. We know that there's a great number of people in Indianapolis who cannot stand that WIBC is here and exists and does what it does and moves who it moves, but it does exist. We are here. We do move the needle, and that's just the way it is, boo. Now report on it. That's your job. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
The floodgates are about to open in Indiana as spring approaches. Don't press your luck thinking your sump pump is working properly before it's too late. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains and rising waters that can sneak inside and wreak havoc in your home. Luckily for you, during the month of March, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering a $300 off the purchase of a new sump pump with a battery backup. Call Hope Plumbing today and keep your head above water.
These people, tell you what. Matt Bear's out today. Paul Bodenloss in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
Starting on the west side, 465 heading northbound, sluggish between 86th and 865. And then there's a trickle-down effect on 465 eastbound from 865 to Meridian. Also on 465 eastbound, slow between Keystone and I-69. Finally, 69 southbound hits the brakes between 106th and 465. The support is sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Big cravings call for Cracker Barrel's new Big Country Skillets. Choose your entree plus 2 sides and a drink, starting at $9.99. New Big Country Skillets now at Cracker Barrel. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
41 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:15.
Best decision I ever made was having Window Nation windows installed in my house, saving me a bunch of money on energy. My old windows were cracked and drafty and letting the air through. Window Nation came in and took care of all that within a day. And you know what? Window Nation windows are high quality and affordable. Right now, you can get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy. And you can get 0 interest and 0 payments for 2 years. Pay nothing until 2027.
This is the deal you want. 2 windows for free with every 2 that you buy. Plus, 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years. Pay nothing until 2027. Call a representative at Window Nation right now. They will walk you through the entire process. 866-90-NATION. Get that fast, free estimate right now with Window Nation. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Get up. I know you're fed up, ladies. But keep your head up.
President Trump seems unconcerned by those people angry with his deportation moves and is going full speed ahead. Of course, it was the weekend. 250 Venezuelan gang members sent to El Salvador, where they have a very, very aggressive prison system under President Bukele. And they take no nonsense. You had a judge, James Boasberg, say that the president had no right to utilize the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to remove these people. He ordered the planes to be turned around. The planes were already in air. They did not get turned around. The argument now is whether or not this district court judge has this authority. The argument made by the White House is they did not in any way, shape, or form violate the judge's order. This was already happening when the judge's order came out, and there's a difference between what was said verbally and what was written. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning, because while the judge said verbally turn the planes around, that was not part of the written order as reported. But the president is clear. These deportations will continue. And I would argue that America agrees with them. Meanwhile, Israel is firing on Gaza. A series of attacks against Hamas killed more than 400 people. This, according to Palestinian authorities, whom cannot be believed at any time. What can be believed is that, and we saw this coming, we discussed this coming, Israel is unsure if they can get these hostages back. Israel believes that this ceasefire, which did get people back, also has allowed Hamas to rearm and to rebuild. There are tunnels clearly that Israel still doesn't know about. And they decided that if there was going to be any type of hesitation from Hamas, they were going to move forward. I thought this would be over a weekend plus ago. This comes just after the U.S. attack on the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Does this mean, as the Jerusalem Post reports it, that Israelis feel that the government has given up on hostages? It's a hard one to answer, because I would argue that nobody wants to give up on getting these people back. I think they're dealing with the reality that you can't allow Hamas to rearm. And this fight is a back and forth one. And there's nothing but heartache in dealing with it. The U.S. is supposed to get one of our people back. One of our people back. And I look forward to that happening, the last American being held hostage. And for holding American hostages, there should be a consequence, a very large one. Then there's the story of Trump ending the Secret Service protection for Hunter Biden and Ashley Biden, the children of former President Joe Biden. Hunter Biden had 18 agents. Ashley Biden had 13. So a reporter was like, do you realize how many people are on the detail? And Trump was like, I did not know that. I'll look into it. Looked into it, was like, this is crazy. Totally insane. Now, as I stated yesterday on Newsmax, I have absolutely no idea what the proper level of protection is. No clue. I do not know how many agents are necessary to keep a protectee safe. Nor do I have the expertise to decide whether or not the children of the ex-president should be protectees. I leave that to Sean Curran and the Secret Service and people who play in that world, and I would listen and I'll ask questions. I think it is fine to ask, is 18 really the necessary number? Do you need 18? Maybe you could do it with 6. Now, maybe you can't. I'm telling you, I don't know. I know it's hard for some radio hosts. I'm telling you, I don't have that answer. I want to know. But there's nothing wrong with asking. Nothing wrong with asking about it. And the U.S. Department of Education launching investigations into 45 universities for, quote, race exclusionary practices. Hold on. Maybe we don't have to get rid of the Department of Education. Maybe it has a purpose. This is Title VI investigations. Universities accused of violating Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. This is through a partnership with something called the PhD Project. This, according to the College Fix. The nonprofit aims to provide minority students with networking opportunities and help them earn PhDs, but it limits eligibility based on race. Oh, yeah, that could be a problem. My Arizona State University, I never graduated, so I don't know if I'm an alumnus or not. Cornell, Duke, NYU, MIT, Cal State San Bernardino, Ohio State, Rutgers, all on the list of engaging in this type of activity. If you get federal funds, I guess the answer is no. You don't get to do this. Sorry. I mean, it's just what's right is right and what's bigoted is bigoted. And if you're getting federal funds, no. Someone privately wants to do this, I don't know if I can necessarily stop that. Or if I would. Matt Bear is out today. Paul Bowden lost with traffic.
At 465 heading northbound, taps the brakes between 74 and Brookville. Also 70 westbound sluggish between 465 and Sherman. Finally, on 65 heading southbound, a little slow between White River Bridge and 21st Street. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bowden lost with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
And Nigel show this afternoon, 3:06. Jeff Boggs, former writer for Letterman, will join us in studio. The biggest stories of the day. Join us.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
Okay, let's be real. You've ignored the solar rep at your door and the last 3 radio ads. Still paying sky-high power bills? Still thinking about it? Still waiting for some magical moment to save money? Look, it takes 2 minutes to get a free solar quote at savewithsolarnow.com. That's it. 2 minutes, no commitment. Or keep ignoring us and keep overpaying. Your call.
What a day.
You're working too hard.
We're both working too hard with even less to show for it.
What's this?
It's the bills for Tracy's procedure.
This is outrageous.
I know. And Mom just said her prescriptions went up again.
How can working people afford this?
These medical bills are crushing our finances, and these hospitals and insurance groups are making record profits.
You know, I read Indiana has the 9th highest healthcare costs in the nation, and prescription drug costs are out of control.
That's why I voted for Mike Braun. He has a plan to reform Indiana's broken healthcare system. Braun's plan calls for billing transparency, increased access, and lower costs for all Hoosiers.
I hear you. It's good to know help is on the way. Mike Braun's plan will offer real relief for our family budget.
Sign the petition for Braun's healthcare plan at HoosierHope.org. Join Mike Braun's fight for healthcare reform today. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Outlaw Music Festival with Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Sheryl Crow, Madeline Edwards, and Waxahachie, Thursday, September 18th at Ruop Music Center. Join WIBC this Saturday 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone. Kick off spring at their open house. Play Pansy Roulette where you can win 10 to 100% off select items.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What's likely not to happen? It's 40 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. A little bit of a wind, making it feel a little colder. 34 is the real feel. 73 is the high today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Some rough weather is headed your way, and it'll be here by Wednesday afternoon, says Matt Eckhoff at the National Weather Service.
We'll see wind gusts maybe up to 45 miles an hour tomorrow in places, and then with the cold front coming through after the storms pass by, it can actually mix with and change to snow by Thursday morning.
And Eckhoff says the up and down temperatures will continue through Thursday. Says there's a small chance for tornadoes. They're putting it at about 2% for the state of Indiana. Gunshots were fired into somebody's home on Indianapolis's west side at about 7 o'clock this morning in a neighborhood not far from 38th Street and Moeller Road. The cops say at least one person was hit, but they're alive right now. And the cops are trying to figure out why the person fired shots into the home. The NASA astronauts who have been stranded in space for 9 months are finally on their way home.
Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore, of course, are their names, successfully undocking in a SpaceX capsule overnight. They were originally set to return no later than Wednesday, but NASA and Elon Musk's SpaceX moved up the mission to take advantage of favorable weather. The Starliner crew will begin their deorbit burn just after 5 p.m. Eastern and just before 6 p.m. Eastern, they will finally splash down off the coast of Florida. Williams and Wilmore were relieved by a SpaceX crew that arrived this week. Both Williams and Wilmore have been vocal in their praise for President Trump and Elon Musk and their efforts to get them home.
And that's Fox's Todd Pyro reporting. It was a setup. That's what the owner of Chatterbox Jazz Bar in downtown Indianapolis is saying about an incident where a woman wearing a MAGA hat was kicked out of the bar and then filmed it.
Came in immediately misgendering my bartender very aggressively, continued to do that and mock her. And she refused to serve them for that reason.
And he tells Wish TV the video only shows about 20% of what happened. Hoosiers rallying at the State House Monday, demanding property tax relief. State Representative Andrew Ireland of Indianapolis says he feels the fiscal pain.
I just got my property tax bill the other day on Saturday. I looked at it. Got up $370, more than 10% over what I paid last year. I got a little skin in this game too, right?
He says the average Hoosier homeowner is seeing their property taxes go up by about 7%. Lawmakers say they're trying to reach a compromise with Governor Mike Braun on property tax relief. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. There's a baseball game being played right now in Tokyo. Top of the ninth inning, the Dodgers just added another run to their lead over the Chicago Cubs right now, 4-1. Top of the ninth inning. This is a series that Major League Baseball plays in Tokyo. It is not opening day. The Pacers were 4 starters short last night, including Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, but that didn't matter. They fought back, pushing the game to overtime with 3 seconds left. Obi Toppin caught a pass in the corner.
Into the corner, an impossible three is drained by Toppin off the catch. He was floating out of bounds in the left corner, and that was a shot that most players wouldn't even try. He tried it because he had to.
And that's Mark Boyle on the Elevance Health Radio Network. The Pacers winning the game 132-130. They return home for 5 straight home games. The NCAA men's basketball tournament tips off tonight with the first 4 in. Purdue takes their act on the road to Providence, Rhode Island. Thursday is a number 4 seed playing 13th seeded High Point. And the Colts made 3 signings official Monday, including safety Cameron Bynum. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:35, traffic on the 5s. Here's Paul Bodenloss.
On the east side, 465 northbound, sluggish between 70 and Fall Creek. Also on the west side, 465 northbound, pretty heavy still between 86th and 865. And you'll find an eastbound delay on 465 between 865 and Meridian as well. This report sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
42 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:36.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. You've got Dow futures down 85. NASDAQ futures down 86. Oil prices up again, $68.50 on the West Texas crude, the Brent crude, coming in at $72.03. 10-year Treasury note, 4.336, wrong direction. If you want to make buying a house easier, Google is going to acquire this cloud security startup called Wiz, W-I-Z. I don't know much about the company. This was being discussed last night because Google had an interest in this company, I think it was months ago, and they weren't sure what the regulatory burden was going to be, so they didn't move forward. Clearly, they've got that figured out. The story here is that this startup, Google is paying $32 billion. That's with a B. $32 billion for this cloud security startup. I guess there's still some money in coding. This is my take. It is interesting that there aren't as many of those jobs as there used to be because there's a lot of people in that field. But it would seem that still the security space, I'm talking about straight coding there, security, cybersecurity, these things are still paying pretty well. Pretty well indeed. $32 billion. That's a whole host of loot. President Trump saying he's going to release the JFK files. I'll read them. What I want more, of course, are the Epstein files. This is what I want more of. And Fani Willis, remember her from Georgia and the RICO case against Trump? And, well, she then had the lover, Nathan Wade, and that whole thing got exposed, and how she was clearly doing some money laundering and the vacations. And then, of course, it was a question of whether or not she could actually be somebody who follows through on this case. Fani Willis has now been ordered to pay more than $54,000 for violating the state's open record laws. Superior Court Judge Rachel Krause formalizing the ruling, ordering her to pay $54,264 in attorneys and litigation costs because she intentionally, that's the quote, failed to provide records requests by the attorney who filed the motion to disqualify Willis from prosecuting Trump. I think now she's been removed from the case. She also got reelected, right? Yeah, it's a weird world. Fani Willis did this to herself. Every last bit of it she did to herself. She just wasn't really good enough. That's all there is to it. Meanwhile, this is just one more story in a never-ending number of stories in Trump's first 100 days. Join us as we look back at all of it and laugh our heads off and ask ourselves, what's next? Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons in Kokomo, April 17th. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Presented by Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, LaserPMC.com, and Flederman Von Riest, your Indiana watch people made in Indiana. I am their brand ambassador. Thrilled by that. Von Riest, R-I-E-S-T-E, VonRiest.com. Sponsors of Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons, brought to you by yours truly and WIBC. April 17th. Tickets on sale, and they're starting to move because we're just a month away. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. A short drive, whoop, right up 31 to Kokomo. Easy to get to, easy to be a part of. You should be a part of it. It's going to be a fantastic time. I've got the bourbons. I've got the cigars. I've got the food. I've got everything. You're going to laugh. You're going to learn. You're going to fall in love. I mean, that's how it's going to go. That's exactly what's going to happen. You will never be the same once you attend Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons. Look back at these 100 days. Tickets.TonyKatz.com. I hope to see you there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Unclaimed property. That's what the Attorney General has. It's just sitting in his office. It's because there are people who are trying to get you a refund. You were owed a refund on something. You didn't even know this. And then you moved, and then they didn't know where to send the refund. So they send it over to the Attorney General's office, and they're like, you figure this out. And the Attorney General's like, you know what? We'll build a website. That's what we'll do. It's IndianaUnclaimed.gov. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. And here's how it works. You go there, and you put in your information, and then you find out if your money's waiting for you. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. I did it the other day. $37. And you're like, Tony, $37? Then you're like, well, it's better than nothing. That's correct. And it could be more. You will only know if you head over to IndianaUnclaimed.gov and get your money. Go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text money to 46220 and get your cash.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face to face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. Tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy-efficient windows? During Universal Windows Direct's Tax Time Sale, you can save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. And here's something that will make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030. That's right, no interest for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. But wait, there's more. This month only, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Whether you need a few windows or a full home upgrade, this bonus savings makes now the perfect time to act. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today for your free in-home estimate. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Traffic on the 5s. Paul Bodenloss in for Matt Bear. What's happening?
On the west side, 465 southbound, just after Route 74, there's a crash. The 2 right lanes being blocked, causing delays back to 38th Street. Also, 65 southbound, a little sluggish this morning between White River Bridge and 21st Street. Also, the Collector northbound slows between the south split and the north split. And finally, 70 westbound touch the brakes between Arlington and Sherman. This report is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at X at WIBC Traffic.
42 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. That's right. Why did I pause? The American Standard Heating Weather Center. Makes perfect sense. The time is 8:46.
The Indianapolis Ballet, the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, and Clues Memorial Hall unite to present the timeless classic ballet, Swan Lake, March 28th and 29th. This collaboration features gorgeous costumes and sets, with full orchestra bringing to life Tchaikovsky's beautiful score, and conducted by the ISO's Jack Everly. Don't miss Indianapolis Ballet's Swan Lake at Clues Hall, March 28th and 29th. Tickets on sale at indieballet.org.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Outlaw Music Festival with Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Sheryl Crow, Madeline Edwards, and Waxahachie, Thursday, September 18th at Ruoff Music Center.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. Oh, no. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out.
I can see it. Gosh. Oh, come on. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Here's how we play our game. What the heck is that TV theme song? Producer Kylan there has picked a theme song, and then I have to guess what it is. And the chat room there in the live stream has already gone nuts. And because when you hear that, it's a Western. But then you realize it's not a Western. It's a space Western. And that, Kylan, go ahead, play it again.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I can.
This is from the best show that never got renewed. This is the theme to Firefly. And I knew it.
That YouTube chat helped you, I will say.
Oh, the YouTube chat was all over it. Firefly was so good. Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk. And if you don't know Alan Tudyk, such a good actor. So good. And he does a show now called Resident Alien, which should be it should be mandatory viewing. It is excellent. He's outrageously good. Ridiculously so. Funny, awkward, weird, all the things. He is all of the things. It is just a dang shame that, first of all, that Joss Whedon is such a weird dude. The stories you learn from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was great TV as well. Firefly should have been at least 4 seasons. You know, maybe not Community 6 seasons in a movie, but something. Tony, why do you know so much about this? I don't think that's the point. And how dare you judge me? How dare you judge me? Did I say hello, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC? Well, I'm saying hello, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. On Tony Katz today at noon, we will discuss more about the continuing war in Israel. As Israel continues its bombing operation against Hamas, not bombing in areas where they know hostages to be, to the extent that any of them are indeed still alive, even though we did get a look at some of them just a couple weeks ago at one of the releases, basically taunting Israel and other nations. This is what Hamas does. Stop telling me these are good people. Stop telling me you should somehow support them. And stop telling me that these people out there who are all about the Palestinians, they're Hamas supporters. They are what they are, whether they're in Indianapolis or New York or anywhere else. Forever 21, the store, is going to close all their locations in the U.S. And their response is people buy from Shein and Temu. And if you want to buy that low-cost Chinese crap, you can. We can't keep up with that. We can't have any part of it. Or we can't compete. If people want garbage and they're willing to pay for garbage, they get garbage. We're out. I mean, that is the argument that they're making. They cannot compete. Interesting story over at the Wall Street Journal. Morgan Stanley went big on DEI, and no one is happy about it. Black and white employees say the efforts added to a divisive culture. Now, as political pressure rises, the bank is watering down initiatives. No kidding. DEI led to a divisive culture. I, for one, am shocked. I only wish there had been a radio host to discuss this every single day for a year. Would have been nice. Would have been nice. And then there is the chatterbox, to which the owner is now making a statement. This was a setup. These people came in to do this, and they misgendered our bartender. It was just vile, so vile. I heard the woman who recorded the video who got thrown out. She was a guest with Hammer and Nigel, her and her friend who goes by Mr. Holistic on Instagram. They were both wearing Make America Great Again hats. He's black. She is white. The question of why would they go in the bar, you telling me there's a bar that Americans are not allowed to go into in America? Are you telling me that that's actually a thing? That there are places you can't go into? That is not the America I know. But moreover, I listened to his statement, David Andrzejczyk, and I find it wanting. I think he made an emotional statement. I don't think he made a factual statement. He brought no proof to the idea of what had happened in the bar. Oh, they were very rude and very aggressive. I don't know what that means, and all of that is subjective. They have given no video evidence of what these two people did. And he has not said that his bartender was wrong for threatening violence. And yes, the bartender stated clearly on the video, bartender's a he, threw them out because they were Trump supporters. Joe Hogsett says nothing because he's a coward. The Indianapolis City County Council says nothing because they're cowards. It is the same story. We lack leadership in Indianapolis. If Indy serves all, I expect it to serve all. And if Indy welcomes all, I expect it to welcome all. Unless it was just sloganeering from an absolutely nonsense, questionably minded mayor named Joe Hogsett. Questionably minded? Yeah, you hire guys guilty of sexual harassment to help run your campaign. That's what you did. And that's what the media accepts. That's what the so-called feminists accept. And now all the people who want to stand up for rights have nothing to say. No, I don't think that the Chatterbox owner is giving an honest assessment here. I think he's giving an emotional assessment here. His bar, run it the way you will. Run it the way you will. But man, that's not what Indianapolis is about, Chatterbox. That's not what Indianapolis is about. You have a lot to learn. I'd say it's right to your face. It's just fact. Matt Bear's out today. Paul Bodenlaw says traffic.
On the west side, 465 heading southbound at 21st Street. You have a crash, takes out the two right lanes, causing delays back to 74. This report is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Paul Bodenloss with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Advanced solutions from Comcast Business help turn today's enterprises into engines of modern business. It's how retailers become logistics mastering, supply chain transforming, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying favorite shopping destinations.
Thank you for shopping.
And how nationwide restaurants become customer focusing, touchscreen ordering,
Second window, please.
rapidly customizing, quick serving eateries. It's how we turn financial firms into market tracking, client servicing, cyber securing economic engines.
Loan approved. Congratulations.
And how hospitals become the patient scanning, data managing, welcome to the worlding, life-changing healthcare facilities that we all depend on. With leading networking and connectivity, advanced cybersecurity, and expert partnership, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply.
Applied Innovation has made a lot of IT directors happy with their managed print services offering. Listen to a few of them talk about Applied Innovation. Chris Pfeiffer, IT Director for Doran Mayhew.
So we were able to reduce the number of machines that we use, but increase their capacity. And then basically we cut our managed print services bill in half by doing that.
Applied Innovation customer Linda Philly Watson, Director of IT at LaSalle Bristol.
The devices are well managed, they're well maintained, well supported, and that's less time for me, more time for me to spend on other projects, on other priorities.
Applied Innovation customer Craig Gilliam, IT Director for Suncoast Skin Solutions.
I think it's just the simplicity of everything. They're quick, fast, and so if you need any help, they're on the spot.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $15,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is JoynerHomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model